I'm Chimoyo Mangazi with Business Time on Times. It is a magazine program where we bring you business and economic news stories making headlines. In the program today, 100 heavy-duty motorized irrigation pumps gathering dust at PVHO offices. National Construction Industry Council reveal plans to construct a 98 million kwacha office complex. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome. Business Time has established that about 100 heavy-duty motorized irrigation pumps are gathering dust at PVHO offices in Lilongwe. The pumps are part of the tractors bought using a loan from India, whose sale resulted in Tractorgate. But what is the government's plan on the machines? A question for Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development, Kondwan Nankuma.
The motorized pumps here were part and parcel of the Indian line of credit that also saw the Malay government buying the tractors that ended up in the popular Tractorgate. So against such a background, we need to sit down. We need to review some kind of correspondence on the same that have been there, and in no time we're going to make a decision in as far as the motorized pumps are concerned. But also let me also add to say that for the country to achieve food security, both at household and national level, we need to talk irrigation now. Irrigation is good. Through irrigation, a farmer or a group or cooperative can harvest 2 to 3 times in a year. Now we need to take irrigation to the people. It's good that we have got the national irrigation policy, the plan which is there. We need to be serious in implementing the plan. But for us to achieve food security in the country, there's no any other way. The other way around is irrigation. Yes, we have talked about rain-fed agriculture for quite some time, but you have seen how, because of climate change issues, today we have drought, and next year we have something else. The only way out is irrigation. Yeah, it's just a matter of going back to the Department of Human Resource, because following the decentralization, some positions were taken down to district council level. So we need to mitigate the two. We need to coordinate the two. That's the simple thing to do. That the approach needs to be an aggressive approach, a serious approach for us to reach the intended purpose.
The National Construction Industry Council, NCIC, says it plans to construct a 98 million kwacha office complex in Lilongwe. NCIC Chief Executive Officer Linda Piri said the complex will be built with sustainable and environmentally friendly materials. Rebecca Chinjeka compiled this report, read by Taonga Sabola.
Piri was speaking in Lilongwe during the signing ceremony of a consultancy service contract with image designers, the architects of the project. She said NCIC is committed to bringing quality infrastructure in the country.
Okay, we have signed this agreement today. It's for detailed design services for a project that will finally see the construction of office complex and exhibition center for National Construction Industry Council. As you might have been aware, the process started way back in 2016 when we advertised for a competition for professionals in the construction industry to team up and come up with the professional solutions to deliver a modern infrastructure for NCIC and the whole construction industry. As you have noted, the final product, the master plan that came out of the competition, is aimed at coming up with infrastructure solutions that will achieve modern construction technologies, that is green construction, that is energy efficient, that can achieve water conservation, and that can provide solutions that at the end of the day NCIC can say we are setting an example for the whole industry to emulate. As you have rightly heard from the team leader, the professional team that has been put in place has incorporated services of professionals from South Africa, because that's where currently within the SADC region green rating is. So we want at the end of the day to even at least subject this end product to the authorities in South Africa to see whether we can be rated as one of the infrastructure products that has made in complying with green construction requirements. This project will be constructed within the land that we have here at NCIC. As you might have seen, the structures you see when you come to NCIC, behind we have some houses and a few other facilities, but they are just sitting on less than half of the land that we have. So the facilities that will be designed within the next 6 months will utilize the land that we have at NCIC. As presented, we are looking at coming up with office complex, classrooms and laboratories, sporting facilities, workshops, but also specifically designed offices for professional boards and associations. We would like to ease cooperation between NCIC and its stakeholders, so that maybe all the services, or maybe all the services that construction stakeholders need, can be obtained from at least one place, to make it easy for the regulation and promotion services, the mandate which NCIC has. This assignment, the agreement that we signed today, will be funded from our own resources, NCIC resources that we generate, and the contract amount is 98 million kwacha.
Image Design's team leader, architect Collins Kaunda, said their role is to design the building and to give NCIC office complex a new look and a new concept of green building that operates to eliminate negative environmental impacts.
The focus has been to look at sustainable technologies. When we say sustainable technologies, we're looking at materials that will not harm the environment, that's number one, and two, not cause a lot of pollution to whatever we do, because statistics and surveys have shown that construction industry also contributes a lot in terms of pollution. So these buildings that are coming up here, what we've designed is a solution to those problems. So for example, we're not going to use the normal bent bricks that we use in Malawi. What we've decided is to go with different materials that will not harm the trees and all the materials that are being depleted in Malawi at the moment. If you've followed the trend in the construction industry, buildings being part of the biggest polluters, people have done research and said we need to do something better, because globally the temperatures are getting higher each and every day. To give you an example, I think for the past 20 years, the temperatures have risen by about 3 to 4% degrees higher. One of the contributors is the construction industry. So this star rating category or facility introduces materials and construction techniques that will limit the use of materials. For example, asbestos in the past used to be one of the elements that were polluting heavily to the environment, until at a time when my government said we need to stop this and introduce other materials. But it only looked at one element, which was the roof. But in these buildings that are coming up, we want to look at each and every element. For example, what type of windows, what type of raw materials, what type of finishes. All those, they have to correlate with a certain rating in terms of how much they pollute or how much they don't pollute. So that's what we are trying to achieve on this. And once you do that, there is what we call South African Institute of Green Technology, where you can go and apply to be given a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, up to 5-star. But it is a process. So what we've decided is to use this technology and try and see if Malawi would have the first star rating building on NCIC as an example.
In 2018, Government of Malawi published a gazette that uses sustainable construction. These regulations seek to promote the use of sustainable and environmentally friendly construction material in the construction industry.
Remember, this is Business Time on Times. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines. And as we proceed with the program, let's now have a look at how the Malawi Kwacha is faring against major trading currencies on the foreign exchange market. Welcome back. National Bank of Malawi PLC has reaffirmed its commitment to promote development of the ICT industry in the country. This came out on Wednesday when the bank presented a check to the overall winner of 2019 ICT Association of Malawi Innovation Jam competition. Isaac Salima reports.
Pirilani Kumasewera, Sam Masikini and Clifford Mwale grabbed the first, second and third positions respectively in last year's competition. Masikini and Kumasewera were rewarded with a trip to Rwanda, where they attended Africa Tech Summit. Edilongo Bezidi Mwale, who failed to make the trip, was on Wednesday awarded with a 1 million Kwacha prize. National Bank of Malawi Head of Information and Technology, John Michel, said the bank is committed to working with partners in promoting the sector.
We already have a framework with ICTAM, and we'll be applying the same agreement which we have with them, supporting the Innovation Jam in 2020, just as it was in 2019. So we'll be encouraging innovations, and we hope that in 2020 there will be even more brilliant ideas from ICT innovators in Malawi. We started off very well. There were very brilliant ideas. Actually, we didn't expect to have such brilliant ideas that were presented. And using feedback that was given at the Innovation Jam, we expect even better innovations this year in November. And we're really keen and looking forward to the Innovation Jam this coming November this year. And if these innovations are adopted by the industry in Malawi, they will really make a big difference to the Malawian economy as well as the social setup. Because it's touching areas, as you may have heard: agriculture, e-health, finance, and almost each and every aspect of the economy is touched by these innovations.
ICTAM Vice President Edmund Kachare hailed the National Bank of Malawi for supporting the initiative.
For the past 4 years, we've been running the Innovations Award, and we, along the way, discovered that the National Bank was also willing to partner with another stakeholder in promoting and enhancing innovations. So we came forward and they were welcoming, so here we are. We are grateful. We started this relationship back in September 2019, and the bank committed that it will support the various engagements that ICT Association is going to do as regards innovation is concerned. And this year, this occasion is one example of that commitment, and we are excited and we are really thankful to the whole, to the entire management.
Masikini, who represented other winners during the event, was delighted with the recognition, saying the country has potential of performing wonders in technology if innovators are supported.
The trip to Rwanda, the Tech Summit, was really wonderful. I mean, just the word wonderful itself isn't really enough, because there are a lot of things that we talked about and what we learned. So one of the major things are the challenges or the problems that many nations are facing in trying to move forward with technology or innovation. And to begin with, we talked about the digital infrastructure, and by that I simply mean what does your nation have to offer concerning technology or innovation itself? Because there are a lot of ideas, there are a lot of potentials, but how much does a nation put interest in such a field? Yes. So to put everything in a nutshell, just to sum up everything, we're mainly discussing about the challenges, so to say, problems that a lot of people, even companies, institutions themselves are facing to the small student project level in trying to innovate or improve some certain things in the nation. We're getting big ideas, but technology is for the people. So we first have to look at the problems that are down pressing now, and then you also focus to say how are these problems going to be in the future, so that when you're trying to innovate or make technology, make sure it's something that is for now and is able to live until the future, or still helping to the next level. So I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of innovation this time around. There'll be a lot of, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of ideas from different people, not just us. And there are a lot of other things we can do in the health sector, in agriculture. A lot of people are really racing up. And yes, we just hope for the best. Let's just see what is going to happen next at the next conference, the next competition.
Another edition of Innovation Jam will be held later this year.
Old Mutual Malawi Limited has handed over a water kiosk and a menstrual hygiene change room to Naocha Primary School in Blantyre, worth over 9 million kwacha. The initiative is under the Old Mutual Community Transformation Project, which started in 2019 with leadership and skills development training of teachers at the school. Martin Yeo compiled this report, read by Thomas Kachere.
Gia said the kiosk will help lessen water challenges faced at the school and surrounding communities. Over 4,300 students and 91 teachers will benefit under the project.
Started with a pilot project, which was our partnership with Naocha Primary School as well as the community around. In our plan, we're saying we need to identify a community where the community is able to identify their own needs, and then we are able to partner with other institutions that have the capabilities to work together to transform that community. Naocha was our pilot community. During that time, we have done quite a number of initiatives. The first one, we started with leadership skills training for the teachers. We also arranged for a leadership skills training for the school management, especially for the pupils or the learners of Naocha Primary School. We also embarked on an initiative to paint the classrooms, like you saw earlier on. We maintained the desks and we supplied the desks, over 200 desks that were handed over today. We also had an initiative, because this was also one of the pressing needs that the school management told us, to actually create a washroom for girl learners who had the issues to actually have a very private space to be able to have a clean or healthy space for their changing. And finally, it was the water kiosk. As you can see now, Chalon has over 4,000 learners, The community also is very heavily dependent on water supply from the school. They only had one borehole. So we have put in place this water kiosk, which we think is also a sustainable way for the school to actually fundraise as they supply water to the community, but also to supply their own needs at this particular school. As far as we are concerned, we think leadership is the most important. This is why the leadership training that we have been imparting is very necessary. We also think that the school management or the community leadership is the one that should ideally be identifying the needs, so that when the solutions are coming through, they take ownership of the solutions that are being provided to them. Actually, for us, like I said, this was a pilot project. We are still calling upon partners. In this particular initiative, we partnered with Water for People. We are calling on other partners because as Old Mutual, we do not have certain capabilities. Things like water and sanitation is not our core business. So Water for Aid came in to actually supply the professional part of that capability. We are calling on other partners as we go along. If we can identify such, we can identify more communities where the communities themselves are able to identify their needs. We actually wait for solutions with Old Mutual together with the community and any other corporate institutions that can come along to help those communities.
Under the same project, Old Mutual has partnered an international organization, Water for People. Kate Harawa is its country director.
So this project that has been done at Nawacha Primary School is going to help the students here. First of all, we have the water kiosk, so the students will be able to be taking clean water every day. And also, even if the Blantyre Water Board has stopped or there's any rationing, they'll still be able to access water, good quality water from the tank, which will really help the kids to live a healthy life, but also cleaning up their classrooms. They also have a change room for menstrual hygiene management, which will help the girls, especially the adolescent girls, to be able to stay in school even when they're in menstrual period. And this will promote education for girls and also reduce the dropout for girl children.
Blantyre District Council Chairperson Karum Dala said the council is grateful for the initiative as it contributes to the district development plan.
Electricity Supply Corporation of Malawi, ESCOM, and Go Green on Wednesday donated 7,000 tree seedlings to people of Chileka in Blantyre as part of its reforestation drive. According to ESCOM Senior Administration and Logistics Manager Emilius Kandapo, the commitment was in response to requirements by national climate change policies. Sharon Chira reports.
Kandapo said as ESCOM, they have also been affected by the wanton cutting down of trees.
ESCOM being a government entity, we are responding to the national climate change management policy, where entities, individuals and communities are supposed to take responsibility in restoring the environment, which has been degraded in the past years. Right now, our focus is on the distribution of electricity. After unbundling, the generation side is with Ejenko, but because we go to the market and buy from Ejenko, the generation is affected by the climate change. You have mud, you have trash in terms of rains because the upper side has been degraded extensively. Naturally, the trees cover our network. With the cyclones, with the hurricanes, the heavy rains and the heavy winds, the trees shield our network. If all the stakeholders come together, we are talking of organizations, government entities, NGOs. If we all come together, we can restore the environment which we have so far depleted.
Go Green National Coordinator Lawrence Kafere said trees provide many hidden benefits.
There's some hidden items which trees can contribute to us, which is the air we breathe. So that's my only specific thing, that because that one is hidden, people doesn't talk about it. Yes. We are missing it because you can see that government, private sector is also planting trees, but follow up, take care of them is a problem. By the end of the day, you may find that maybe ESCOM has spent $1 billion, but come next year you will find that the trees are not there. So follow up, taking care of them, and maybe giving them the feedback that the trees which we planted last year, the survival rate is maybe 60%. That's the problem which we are encountering.
Member of Parliament for Blantyre West constituency, Isaac Kaneka, expressed gratitude towards ESCOM.
I'd like to thank ESCOM out of all the sites for thinking of coming to donate trees here in Chilega. Yes, I know Chilega, it's one of area which has been hit hard by deforestation, because all the charcoal you see in town is actually coming from this end. And really it's a brilliant idea for ESCOM to think of coming here so that we can try to restore the nature. Planting, it's not a big deal, but to return. So we are going to urge the parents and the students around this area that they have to look for the trees. It's not our first time. We've been doing that for the past 3 years. At one time we introduced a trophy for the best returned school. The highest we had was 98% return ratio. So I'm hoping with that here, I'm sure they're going to look after these trees.
1,000 of the trees will be planted around ESCOM offices and substations, 2,000 in different communities in conjunction with chiefs, with 4,000 trees being planted at Chugumukire and Kachanga primary schools.
Well, with that story, we've also come to the end of today's edition of Business Time here on Times. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Chimwemwe Mangazi. But always remember, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. Bye for now.